And we welcome you back to Raw, ladies and gentlemen, as we await the arrival of the general manager, Chris Jericho. Hopefully he's out here tonight to clear up what's been going on with Sheamus and Cesaro. If you're just joining us earlier in the night, we started off the show and we saw Sheamus speaking with Chris Jericho backstage, and there was a handshake. They seemed to be in agreement on something. And then later on in the show, the cameras caught Cesaro coming up to Sheamus. We couldn't quite hear what they were saying, but Cesaro offered a handshake to Sheamus. I'm assuming it was regarding a rematch here for the tag team titles tonight, but Sheamus did not reciprocate the handshake and walked away. And as we were taking our last commercial break there, our previous commercial break there, we saw Cesaro. The security cameras picked up Cesaro entering Chris Jericho's office. So there seems to be some trouble in paradise here for the bar. It seems that whatever's going on, Sheamus and Cesaro do not seem to be on the same page, but let's see if the general manager can clear things up here. So Chris Jericho, again, stating that he had a backstage run-in with Sheamus, and Sheamus actually, interestingly enough, suggested foregoing his tag team rematch and trading it in for an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. That's why Cesaro wasn't happy. Cesaro later paid a visit to Chris Jericho, and Chris also requested a Elimination Chamber qualifying match. So Chris Jericho has agreed to give them both a shot at the Elimination Chamber in lieu of their tag team championship match. And tonight, that match happens right now. So, huge breaking news. Sheamus taking on Cesaro here in what I would consider an impromptu match, as this is going to be an Elimination Chamber qualifier. Again, I'm kind of in shock here. Sheamus approached Chris Jericho backstage, and apparently he traded in the bar's tag team championship rematch so that he could be granted a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. However, I guess Sheamus was unaware that Cesaro had also asked the same thing of Chris Jericho. So that's very interesting. Both members of the bar basically, without discussing it with each other, they basically agreed to forego their rematch for the tag team championships and enter themselves into qualification for the Elimination Chamber, which we all know will be held for the Intercontinental Championship. So this leads to quite an interesting scenario here, really. Not only do we see the tag team, well, the former tag team champions taking each other on here tonight, but one of these guys is going to be going to the Elimination Chamber to fight for the Intercontinental Championship. So what does that mean for their tag team? I don't know. You'd figure the bar, they were in line for a rematch for the championships, but I guess they're content with losing the titles to the family and moving forward here. This is very strange, very odd situation. But either way, I mean, looks like we're going to get a good match out of it. Anytime you see Sheamus and Cesaro, if you remember, that's actually how the bar came together. Sheamus and Cesaro had a best-of-7 series, and it turns out that they both kind of earned each other's respect through that series of matches, and decided to join up and become a dominant tag team in WWE. Here we go. Looks like they're going to start out with a handshake. These guys are still friends, but Sheamus. We've seen that before. Sheamus offered the handshake and pulls it back, but Cesaro with a slap to the face. And Cesaro comes out firing on Sheamus here. He is pumped up. Cesaro's tired of being the little brother, apparently. He came out here, Sheamus kind of embarrassed him again with that handshake slip, and Cesaro had enough and just paintbrushed Sheamus across the face there. Came out firing in the corner. Opens the match with a good belly-to-belly suplex, and Cesaro, first one to gain control here. Sheamus able to counter with that arm drag. Again, anytime you can get these two in the ring, either on the same team or against each other, it doesn't matter. These guys are going to put on 5-star matches consistently. Cesaro slips out of that, picks Sheamus up into an airplane spin. Talk about some old school right there. And Cesaro's got the Cesaro section on his side, and that seems to be growing week by week. I know it hasn't been mentioned much, but Cesaro does have some fans out there for sure. A lot of people really feel he's one of the most underrated performers here in WWE, and really they expect a lot more for Cesaro, but how can you complain about multiple tag team championships with Sheamus? I mean, these guys have been the most dominating tag team on Raw in the last probably last year or so. But we know last week they kind of came out a little unprepared against the family, and the family was able to take those tag team championships in more than impressive fashion from the bar. Seems like that led to a little bit of trouble here. These guys not really on the same page all week. And again, like I said, Sheamus opened up the show talking to Chris Jericho, and at the time we didn't know what it was about, but apparently he had an idea to trade in their rematch and get himself entered into that elimination chamber. Oh, big gut wrench suplex there from Cesaro. He's going for a follow-up here. He's got it locked in. He hits him with another gut wrench suplex. Going for the trifecta. That's a big boy, Sheamus. And Cesaro with a trifecta of side slams there. Gut wrench suplexes. And this guy, pound for pound, easily the strongest guy. Strongest man on the roster, easily. His workout regimen, I hear it's brutal. Can't imagine. Nice kick there. Sheamus with a good counter. Sheamus has been around longer than people realize. He's done a lot here in WWE. I mean, obviously former tag team champion and United States champion, former WWE champion. This guy's done it all, you know. Right now, looks like he's about to go for a ride. The Cesaro swing. The crowd loves this move. Sheamus does not. Round and round he goes. Sheamus, where he's going to land, only Cesaro knows. Cesaro again placating to the crowd here, and I mean, that's usually ill-advised, but in certain situations, I believe, it can help you out. I mean, getting the crowd behind you and getting that adrenaline rush, it really can provide a boost of momentum in a match and turn things around in your favor, or really let you keep the control. But Sheamus, you see right there, he's crafty. He slips out of that power slam. And when Sheamus gets in control, bruises will be distributed, that's for sure. Cesaro slips out of that. And a big European uppercut. Cesaro just threw Sheamus into the air, hit him with that uppercut. He's teetering on the edge here. Looks like he's lining him up. If Cesaro is able to defeat Sheamus, I mean, I guess just based on their previous accolades, I would consider it an upset, but these guys are pretty evenly matched, and I think that's really what makes them such a great tag team, is they have a very similar style. They're very similar, but very different. It's a very hard dynamic to explain, but they're both brutal. They can deliver massive amounts of punishment to their opponents. Very smart competitors in the ring. But Cesaro, I would consider him more of a wrestler, and Sheamus is a little bit more of a brawler. But either way, I mean, both these guys definitely know how to get the job done in that ring. Looking to enter themselves into the Elimination Chamber for another huge European uppercut. Now keep in mind, whoever goes here, neither one of these guys has ever won that Intercontinental Championship throughout their careers, so would be a first opportunity for them, along with John Cena, who's also in that Elimination Chamber. As we know, with Kevin Owens and obviously Aleister Black going in there as the reigning champion. I don't know if he's going to be coming out, but it's going to be a tall task if Aleister Black can defeat John Cena, Kevin Owens, either Sheamus or Cesaro, and whoever else is going to get entered. And we do have another Elimination Chamber qualifying match coming up next week on Raw. Sami Zayn's going to take on new Raw superstar Nakamura, who was recently signed after Royal Rumble to Raw. We haven't seen or heard from him since, but this will be his first time on Raw, and he gets the opportunity to enter himself in the Elimination Chamber next week. Sheamus is having a good laugh at Cesaro's expense here, just busted him open. And again, this Celtic Warrior, he can, when he maintains control, he's one of the most dangerous people on the roster, that's for sure. But again, he's in there with somebody that knows him like the back of his hand. These guys have been up and down the road together for years. They've been side by side. These guys have been brothers, you know, since they've been a tag team. Who knows them better than each other, really? Sheamus is pumped. And either way, this is going to be a tough victory for whoever wins this. It's not going to be this is going to be a hard-earned victory. Cesaro's busted open. Both of them been sent into those steel steps. Sheamus is showing a little red on his chest. We got some bruises already. I mean, this is a hard-hitting match. Sheamus picks him up. Cesaro slips out again into a reverse DDT. And what is going on here? Cesaro with a big shot. And there's Curtis Axel. Why? What the hell? This guy is a lunatic. Why is Curtis Axel here interrupting this match? What business does Curtis Axel have in this match? Last week he attacked AJ Styles and paid the price with a Styles Clash on the top of a car. You'd think he'd learn his lesson, but... And look at this, Sheamus has had enough. Cesaro, both of them, looks like they set their sights on him. Both of them have got their targets locked on Curtis Axel right now, and I'd say rightfully so. This guy has no business being on Monday Night Raw, let alone interrupting matches that for no reason. But he's, like I said, he just pissed off two people you really don't want to piss off. He's in a world of danger right now in that ring. He's got the bar teeing off on him. Cesaro whips him to the outside. Oh my God, slingshots him off of those ropes. And again, I don't know what Curtis Axel's motive. He's been hired as WWE's head of security, so I mean, it's okay. It makes sense that he's here on Raw trying to... His job is to maintain order, but there was nothing going on. This is a one-on-one match. It was all clean. Why is he here? He came in here, just interrupted, and hit both of these guys, and Sheamus is going to make him pay. Oh, my God. Powerbomb over that barricade. Caught the lower part of Axel's back. That could do some serious career-ending damage. And Perfect Protection. We did see the debut of the new Perfect Protection with AOP over on SmackDown. Big knee to the face. You got to wonder if AOP is going to be showing up here tonight. I don't see any traces of them, but if they did, that'd be a hell of a fight. Oh, Cesaro just hit the ref as Axel moved out of the way. But Sheamus picks him up, and Curtis Axel, he's got to be thinking twice about coming to Raw. I mean, last week, he kind of set his sights on AJ Styles and got taken to the woodshed, really. AJ hit the Styles Clash on the top of a car in the parking lot. Now this idiot comes out here attacking one of the best tag teams in the business. Look at that, double foot stomp. Sheamus with a kick to the back. Stomp to the back. These two guys are just manhandling Curtis Axel right now. And I don't see anybody in a hurry to come out here and stop this. Which I don't blame them. I mean, I can't really condone SmackDown guys just coming up, showing up on Raw unannounced. Big neck breaker there from Cesaro. Neck whip. Sheamus with a... Oh! The Irish Cross backbreaker trifecta. Boom! Curtis Axel may not make it out of here tonight on his own 2 feet. Somebody needs to cart this guy out of here because the bar... Oh, huge uppercut. The bar is taking it to the house right now. Curtis Axel, what are you thinking coming out here doing this? And again, I really don't see any backup coming out here for him, so you got to wonder where AOP is. Curtis Axel's got to come up with a new plan here. New protection plan. Big brogue kick. Huge brogue kick. Nobody is stopping this beating. This is a grade A, and excuse my language, ass whooping right here that the Bar is putting on Curtis Axel. Again, I have no clue why Curtis Axel decided to come out here, but it's probably the last time he's going to make that mistake. The neutralizer! Holy cow, the crowd is loving this. Oh, and he's set up now. Big assisted brogue kick. And the Bar lays Curtis Axel to rest. Holy cow, so these two guys really didn't start out on the same page, but looks like they're finishing the night back as brothers here. Sheamus offers the handshake. Cesaro rightfully hesitant here. Sheamus wants to make amends. Cesaro, yep, Cesaro. Oh! And Sheamus again! Showing Cesaro up, embarrassing him, and now we got a taunt off here for the crowd. You know, this is reminiscent of the old days of the Bar here when they first got together. It was more of a spirited competition of who's better, and that's all fine. But I mean, got the Celtic Warrior and Swiss Superman. Oh, he just hit the ref. I mean, that's all fine, but who's going to Elimination Chamber, really? Because we didn't get a winner to this match. Sheamus or Cesaro, one of these guys are going to Elimination Chamber. We'll have to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. Come right back. And welcome back to Raw, ladies and gentlemen, as we anticipate the arrival of the 2018 Royal Rumble winner, Daniel Bryan. Listen to this crowd. Huge fan favorite here on Raw. Daniel Bryan recently made his in-ring return at the Royal Rumble, coming in as the number 30 participant. And it came down to him and Heath Slater, as we all know. And after quite the battle, Daniel Bryan was able to topple Heath Slater and get him over that top rope. And it is deafening in here. My God. I can't hear myself think. But anyway, Heath Slater didn't take too kindly to that, and last week he showed up on Raw and attacked Daniel Bryan after his match with Neville and laid him out with a Scorpion Death Drop. But Daniel Bryan basically out here tonight stating that he doesn't appreciate the actions of Heath Slater, and he's really surprised, and especially under the tutelage of Sting, who's always been the consummate professional and the good guy. And Daniel Bryan Heath Slater seems like he's out here. He has something to prove, and Daniel Bryan's not going to have him attacking him, not going to have Heath Slater attacking him week after week leading up to the Rumble. So Daniel Bryan basically is issuing a challenge to Heath Slater here. He wants Heath Slater in the ring one-on-one. He doesn't care if it's on Raw or SmackDown. Wait a minute. What? We hear the arrival. We hear Sting's music. The lights in the arena just went out. Seems like either Sting or Heath Slater's on their way out here. It's hard to tell these days. There you go, Universal Champion Stinger, the mentor of Heath Slater, wearing his Heath Slater shirt. Sting seems to be undergoing a rejuvenation of his career with the partnership of the young and crazy Heath Slater. And again, these two have had quite the positive effect on each other. Sting seems to have kind of relaxed Heath Slater and settled him down and kind of put him in a more it's a serious relax. Heath Slater seems a lot more focused, and with that focus, there comes a little bit more success with Heath Slater. Whereas Sting is kind of just, he's young again, he's born again, he's under a rejuvenation here. It's like the second leg of his career. Walked into that fatal four-way. Nobody expected him to walk out with that title around his waist, but seeing is believing, and you can see that Universal title, Sting wearing it proudly. We could have right now we have Sting and Daniel Bryan set up for WrestleMania. It looks like Sting's out here taking exception to the words of Daniel Bryan, talking bad about his protege Heath Slater there, but Daniel Bryan does have a right to defend himself. I mean, Heath Slater did come out there at the end of the match, end of a nice grueling match there against Neville, and took a beating down on Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan is insinuating that that was orders of Sting. Sting sent Slater out here to weaken Daniel Bryan. Sting obviously denying these allegations. That's not Sting's style. Sting is actually proposing a match, though, for Elimination Chamber. He said, you want Heath Slater in the ring, you got it, Elimination Chamber, but only if you put your number one contendership on the line. So Daniel Bryan's got a lot to think about here. Sting proposed the offer, Daniel Bryan versus Heath Slater at Elimination Chamber, but Daniel Bryan's Universal Championship title shot at WrestleMania will be on the line if he accepts. And that's what having a mentor and a manager and someone who's experienced as Sting in your corner can do. That's why Heath Slater partnered with him, and we'll have to see if Daniel Bryan accepts that offer. But up next, we're going to have Dolph Ziggler taking on Brock Lesnar. We'll be right back. And welcome back once again to Monday Night Raw. As we just heard from the Universal Champion Sting, who issued a challenge to Daniel Bryan on behalf of Heath Slater. Again, Sting proposed a match against the two, or the two guys against each other at Elimination Chamber. But he said the stipulation would be that Daniel Bryan would put his number one contendership for the Universal Championship on the line, basically saying that if Heath Slater were able to beat Daniel Bryan, then our WrestleMania match could potentially be Heath Slater versus Sting for the Universal Championship. And again, there's a lot of red tape we have to sort out here. We have to... Really, I mean, Daniel Bryan has yet to accept the offer, but knowing Daniel Bryan, I'm sure he's not going to back down from a fight. And of course, like I said, there's a lot of red tape that the general manager, Chris Jericho, is going to have to settle. I mean, we'll see. I'm just thinking, imagine if Heath Slater were to beat Daniel Bryan and then somehow beat Sting at WrestleMania. Heath Slater, a SmackDown superstar, could potentially hold the Raw Universal Championship. But in other news, you see the Beast Incarnate making his way down to the ring here tonight. And this is going to be quite the challenge for Dolph Ziggler. Seems in recent weeks, Shawn Michaels has kind of thrown down the gauntlet for Dolph Ziggler. He came out here last week as the Raw guest host and basically told Dolph either stop using his gimmick, stop being Shawn Michaels Jr., or start winning like Shawn Michaels. So last week, Shawn Michaels booked a match for Dolph Ziggler. It was an Elimination Chamber qualifying match against John Cena. And again, if Dolph Ziggler wants to prove himself, if he wants to be the man here on Raw, he's going to have to start winning those matches. Unfortunately, he came up a little short, and he was defeated by John Cena, who did earn a shot at the Intercontinental Championship at Elimination Chamber. But Dolph Ziggler here has another test in front of him tonight, and another opportunity to go over a huge star here on Raw. Brock Lesnar recently involved in that fatal four-way at the Royal Rumble for the Universal Championship against John Cena and Sting and The Undertaker. And man, what a hell of a match that was. But Brock Lesnar seemed to be the favorite going into that match, but somehow, some way, the old veteran, the cagey veteran Sting, was able to pick up the victory. He actually hit the Scorpion Death Drop on Brock Lesnar and got the pin. And I see Brock Lesnar, looks like he still remembers that. He's been pretty pissed off since then. And you can see, tonight he gets a chance to take his frustrations out against Dolph Ziggler here. But you got to imagine, if Ziggler is able to pick up this win tonight over Brock Lesnar, again, that's really going to shoot him up there in those rankings, and that's what Dolph Ziggler wants. He wants to be the Universal Champion. He wants to be the man on Raw. He wants to be the face of WWE. But you can't do that if you don't win. I mean, you go back through the past and the legends, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H. I mean, these guys were all winners. They weren't guys that, oh my God, an F5. This early on in the match, that could be it. This could be an embarrassing loss for Dolph Ziggler. Then he kicks out. Somehow Ziggler got the shoulder up after that F5. But I'm saying those guys didn't go in there into those big time fights and lose them all like Dolph Ziggler. He's got to got to put together some sort of winning streak here. And he's not. Doesn't look like it's going to be tonight here. Again, Brock Lesnar is one of the toughest tests you can be in the ring against. And Ziggler is obviously having his fair share of troubles in there against the Beast. Oh, big forearm shot. Oh, he's got the Kimura. Oh, Dolph is lucky his foot was under the ropes there. Wow, Dolph Ziggler is just being beaten like a child here. Oh, and news on Jake Smith, by the way. AJ Styles fan club leader in Pennsylvania, who he was the boy that Randy Orton knocked out. Brock Lesnar's got Ziggler up again. And another F5! Oh my God! And just to finish that medical update, we did learn that Jake Smith... Oh, and that's it. Brock Lesnar defeats Dolph Ziggler just faster than I could even get my sentence out. But Jake Smith is going to be okay. He did suffer a severe concussion at the hands of Randy Orton, but he was released from the hospital earlier last week, and he's home with his family recuperating, so we do wish him the best of luck. But Brock Lesnar, my God, just made quick work of Dolph Ziggler. We all know Lesnar does not get paid by the hour, and he showed it right there. Dolph Ziggler, the troubles just continue for this man. You gotta wonder what Shawn Michaels is gonna have to say about this. But ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it here for us tonight on Monday Night Raw. We thank you. Well, wait a minute now. Brock Lesnar doesn't look like he's finished with Dolph. Come on, this is not called for. Brock Lesnar is still irate, still pissed off that he didn't win that Universal Championship, and this is how he's gonna act, taking Dolph Ziggler to Suplex City. My God. See, this is just... Where's Curtis Axel? Oh, that's right. Curtis Axel got beaten like a redheaded stepchild by the bar earlier tonight, so he's not going to be out here to help. And there is no man in the world who is envious of Dolph Ziggler right now. Set up for his third F5 of the night. My God. Completely uncalled for. Paul Heyman couldn't be happier. This is disgusting. Brock Lesnar, this is sickening. There's no reason for this. Dolph Ziggler's just trying to get his career. Come on. Trying to get his career on track, and you guys are just going to beat him down for no reason because you're mad because you didn't win the title. Oh my God. Is that Shawn Michaels? Shawn Michaels just made the save. Dolph Ziggler does have an angel. Holy cow. Shawn Michaels just made the save before Brock Lesnar could do any more damage. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time. Be sure to join us here next week. Don't forget SmackDown as well. Good night.